It's official. The government no longer works for the American people, and we no longer live in a free capitalistic society. The system that we have now is controlled by business corporations and corporate interests. The majority of our politicians are bought, paid off, funded by some of the biggest companies in the world. And I want to preface this by saying I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm an American. This is not a conversation about the left or the right. This, however, is a conversation about the people versus the corporations and the deep state. And the sad but logical reality is that the laws and bills being passed today are no longer in benefit of the American public, but instead, the bills being passed are in benefit of the corporations that sponsor the politicians. Just this week, a small group of politicians who are supposed to represent you, me, and the rest of the American citizens voted yes to ban TikTok because it's become too big of a competitor to the corporations that sponsor the politicians. See, TikTok used to just compete with social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But now, as they push towards long-form content, they start to compete with YouTube and Rumble. TikTok has also essentially now become a search engine with videos, further competing with Google, Yahoo, Bing, and with the launch of TikTok Shop, they're now rapidly taking market share from Amazon, Shopify, Target, Walmart, and any other large online retailers. And TikTok is not just competing, they're dominating. See, in a free capitalistic society, the government would let a company from Singapore compete with American companies because it's healthy for the marketplace. Competition spurs innovation. But in a corporatocracy, what we have now today, large corporations lobby the politicians that they sponsor to ban TikTok instead of having to compete with TikTok. Consider this, over 1/2 of the US population uses TikTok regularly, and there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of Americans who make a living with TikTok. They use TikTok to grow their brands and their businesses. So if the majority of Americans do not want TikTok banned, why are the politicians pushing so hard for the ban? I have one word for you: corporatocracy. And this, ladies and gentlemen, marks the beginning of the end of capitalism.